Let me tell you something. You think you've seen pride. You think you've seen loyalty, but nothing prepares you for the quiet dignity of a man standing at the edge of everything he's ever loved, clutching an invitation his son wrote by hand, and getting told by some 20-something with a headset, "Sorry, sir. This is for family only." Yeah, that happened. Didn't argue. Didn't fight. He just stood there in his old Marine jacket, sleeves too long, shoulders a little big, boots scuffed, eyes steady, watching a room that didn't want to watch him. The air was thick with the scent of roses, fresh paper, and a little bit of nervous sweat. It was graduation day at St. Albans College, and if you've ever been to one of those, you know, the whole place hums, full of camera flashes, signs, balloons, parents wrestling with bouquets, and the kind of electric hope you only get once or twice in a lifetime. Linda Monroe was there early, hands shaking a little as she smoothed her dress, clutching a program with her son's name. Dean's List, second column, just like she'd rehearsed in her head for weeks. She loved watching these crowds, loved the drama. But this morning, as she sat in her fifth-row seat, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. That's when she saw him, not coming in like everyone else, but slipping in through a side door, not lost, just quiet, careful, alone. He hovered by the roped-off section labeled Guest of Honor, but as soon as he stepped up, there she was, headset girl, blocking his path, clipboard hugged to her chest like a shield. "Sir, this section is for family only." Her tone was sharp, businesslike, not cruel but definitely uninterested. He nodded, said, "My son's graduating. I should be on the list." Didn't even get a glance. Just a finger pointing to the back. "You'll need to stand clear, please, or security will escort you." Most people didn't notice. Why would they? They were too busy adjusting corsages, jockeying for the best phone angle, fixing their hair, making memories. But Linda noticed. So did 6 men sitting quietly a few seats down, not together, but clearly together, like the corners of a folded flag. They didn't move, but their eyes followed the Marine as he stepped back, standing at the edge, hands behind his back, face set, chin up. Still, like a monument nobody asked for. The ceremony started, the dean told a joke about tuition, people laughed, of course. Then the student speaker, the dean's own kid, got up. Perfect suit, perfect posture, perfect pauses. "A special thanks to the family up front," he said, reminding us what real college values look like. The laughter was just a little too sharp. Linda watched the old Marine, saw him shrink just a hair, but he didn't move. The men in row 5, though, they shared a look. One of them muttered, "That was for him." The others nodded. More names, more applause, more flashes. Linda couldn't look away. Something about the man's posture, like he was holding something heavier than a diploma. When the security clipboard came back out, Linda felt her breath catch. The guard leaned in, voice low. "I'm not causing trouble." The man replied, voice quiet but hard. "My son asked me to be here. I'm not moving until I see him walk that stage." The guard tried to stand taller. "Sir, you need to come with me." But the Marine just shook his head. Didn't budge. Linda turned to a woman next to her, badge on her chest, some administrator, and asked, "You know who that is?" The woman shrugged. "Probably someone wandered into the wrong section. Happens every year." "Extras," she said. "Extras." Like the man standing there was just clutter, a mistake on the seating chart. She looked again, really looked. The old jacket wasn't just for show. The seams were worn, buttons dulled, a left shoulder that didn't quite sit right, maybe from an injury that never really healed. He didn't dress for attention. He dressed because it was the best thing he had. And now, 2 security guards were moving closer, one touching his elbow. That's when Linda heard the crinkle of paper, the man pulling out a folded card from his jacket. He held it up, not as a challenge, but as proof. "My son sent this," he said. Blue ink, a little shaky. "Dad, I want you in the front row." Didn't matter. No guest pass, no seat, the usher insisted. The man just nodded and stepped back. No fuss. Linda felt her cheeks burn with a mix of anger and shame. Not her own, but heavy all the same. She was just about to speak up when it happened. One chair scraped back. Then another. Then 4 more. 6 men, those guys from row 5, stood up, walked to the aisle, and made their way toward the back, toward the Marine. Didn't say a word, just closed ranks behind him. The tallest reached into his jacket, pulled out a gold badge, not police, Not military, but unmistakable, a Navy SEAL trident. Then another. All 6, lined up like a wall, like a silent salute. The first spoke up, voice low, but it carried. That man doesn't leave this room. He led us through hell. He stays right here. Suddenly, the whole room was paying attention. Phones came down. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. Even the dean froze at the podium. The security guards looked at each other, then at the badges, then at the man. The usher shrank back. That's when the twist hit. From the left side, another voice, older, rough around the edges, but strong, a retired colonel, medals shining, stood up. I know that man. Master Sergeant Raymond Cole, 3rd Recon, United States Marine Corps, retired. In Kandahar, 2006, he ran into a burning compound and dragged out 5 men under fire. Didn't wait for orders. Didn't ask for backup. Just went. Silence crashed down, hard. Then, from the stage, movement. A young man in cap and gown. Face pale, hands shaking as he took the mic. That's my dad. He didn't wait for permission. Didn't clear his throat. Just let it rip. Voice rough, but proud. Every morning before school, my dad told me, stand tall, keep going, be someone you'd be proud to look in the eye. I'm proud today, not for this degree, but for him. The place went silent, like a church or a battlefield. Lucas, the graduate, walked straight down the steps, didn't care about the stage, didn't care about protocol, went right up to his father and saluted him, crisp and true. Raymond Cole didn't return it. He pulled his son into a hug, quick and real, nothing showy, just solid. The 6 SEALs straightened, raised their own salute. Not for the crowd, not for the ceremony, but for the man who'd led them through fire. Linda blinked, trying to clear her eyes, but everyone else was blinking too. The moment broke something open in the room. All the pretenses, all the little games about who belongs where, gone. The dean got back to the mic, a little shaken, voice suddenly very small. We are honored today by guests of great distinction, some we failed to recognize soon enough. That applause was different. Nobody cheered, nobody hooped, but people stood, hands together, just clapping, pure, honest, a kind of apology you can't put into words. After, when the crowd thinned out, Linda watched students file past Raymond's seat. Some shook his hand, some just touched his shoulder, a few whispered thanks. One young woman, eyes red from crying, saluted him and whispered, "Thank you for carrying them." Raymond just nodded, quiet, shoulders easing for the first time. Then the youngest SEAL stepped forward, slipped a challenge coin into Raymond's palm. 5 words engraved on the back. The quiet ones lead the loudest wars. Raymond squeezed the coin, and for just a second, the years seemed to lift from his shoulders. As the last of the crowd left and the janitors started sweeping up, Linda lingered, wanting to see what was left after the noise faded. There was no big announcement, no camera crew, no Instagram moment, just a room that had remembered something it should never have forgotten. One boy who gave up his big day for his father. 6 men who stood where honor demanded. And a Marine who asked for nothing but a seat, but ended up with a whole room standing for him. Let me tell you, sometimes the loudest thing in a room is the thing nobody says. That day, nobody needed to explain what was right. They just made space and let him walk to the front, where he belonged all along. So yeah, you can debate rules, you can talk about who deserves what, but there are some debts you can't repay, some lessons you can't learn from a program or a speech. Sometimes justice just walks in the room and dares you to look away. That day, nobody did. What do you think? Was the staff just following protocol, or did they cross a line that can't be explained away by rules? Where do you draw the line between order and honor? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about it. Because stories like this, if we don't tell them, nobody remembers. And honestly, maybe that's the real shame.